Good morning, dear students. I am Dr. Savita Devi. I welcome you all in the certificate course of Horticulture Technology, which is held by the Department of Zoology, KTHM College, Nashik. So, dear students, this is our second lecture, and let's have a brief recap of previous lecture. Right? So, in the last lecture, what do we studied? We studied about the organic matter. So, what is the organic matter? Right? And that organic matter basically is what? It is basically the animal as well as a plant products. Okay, animal as well as a plant byproducts. So either that includes the foliage, leaf litters, or agricultural waste is also there. Even it also includes the kitchen waste, right? As well as the animal debris or animal excreta, even dead organic bodies. All these together comprises the organic matter. Yesterday we have also studied the biota in transformation of the organic matter. So what are the animals which are involved in the decomposition process that we studied yesterday? Just for example, there are some aerobic bacteria, there are some fungi. Along with that, the worms, that is earthworms, nematodes, snails, sludge, all of them together transform this organic matter into a compost that we studied yesterday. Let's see what are we going to study today. So today we'll study the humidification, that is a process of formation of humus, is called as a humidification. Then humus cycle, how the humus is formed, okay, as well as the composition of a humus. What are the different components present in the humus that make it very healthy for the soil as well as the environment, right? So, dear students, in today's lecture, let's see what we are going to study. So, you will learn about the humus cycle. We will also learn about the humidification as well as we learn about the benefits of humus, why one should go for the organic farming, as we are often talking about organic farming. So that basically involves what? Use of the decomposed, or you can say the organic manure is basically involved in that. Okay, instead of using the harsh fertilizer, जसं की chemical fertilizers असतात, the chemical fertilizers वापरून soil quality lost होते, even that also hazardous for the environment. But that can be avoided by using the organic farming as well as by using such a kind of manure that are called as organic manure, like humus and decomposed, or you can say vermi compost. Barabar. So apart from that, let's see what is the humus. Okay, so this is our the title, that is humus cycle for vermicompost technology. Okay, around this point we'll be studying today. So what is humus? Basically, humus काय आहे? कशाला आपण humus म्हणतो? कुठल्याही कंपोस्टला, कुठल्याही खताला आपण humus म्हणणार आहे का? Is that like no? So humus is what? Humus is nothing but a dark organic matter that forms in the soil when dead plants and animal matter, including aerobic compost, breaks down further, right? And especially through the action of anaerobic bacteria. So whatever is formed, that is called as a humus. So humus is what basically? It is the dark organic matter. If that compost contains some kind of a dark organic matter, so that is said to be the humus. Okay, and see, it is nothing but the dark organic matter that forms in the soil. From what? From again the organic matter, that is dead plants and animal bodies. So those dead plants and animal bodies, okay, they are part of that dead material is being digested by who? Aerobic organism, aerobic bacteria, right? And those part, just like suppose there is a such a big pit of 2 to 3 feet or 1 to 2 meter deep pit is there. Into that you have just dumped entire this organic matter. Okay, and you are not going to aerate it, you are not going to mix it frequently. Once you filled that pit with the organic matter, that includes maybe the plant bodies, plant twigs, as well as the stem of the plants. बरोबर आहे आणि ते आपण एरिएशन दिलं नाहीये त्याला फ्रिक्वेंटली त्याला हलवलं नाहीये ॲज इट इज आपण ठेवलं फॉर अ मंथ the entire pit will get converted into the compost or not? No, it will not going to get converted into compost. Kaani hunare because we are not mixing, we are not giving aeration for this. Okay, if you unless and until you turn it up, okay, there will be no further decomposition. पण जो superficial part असेल त्या खड्ड्यातला जो superficial part असेल that part will is to that specific region aerobic organism they work, and it is means that organic matter will be get converted into what? Into the compost. But what about the portion of the organic matter which is present at the bottom of this peat? Okay, organic peat, or can say organic unit. What will happen? Will it get converted into the compost or not? No, it will not get converted into compost. Why? Because that portion is quite away from the sunlight, it is away from the aeration, and in absence of air, in absence of oxygen, aerobic organism cannot work there. So that part of the manure or organic material which is present at the base of the peat will get further converted into the humus, right? So this means that. So humus is what? A dark organic matter that forms in the soil when dead plants and animal matter, including the aerobic compost, including the superficial aerobic compost, breaks down further. Okay, altogether when breaks down further, especially through what? Through the action of anaerobic bacteria. So it is nothing but the compost. I have shown here the figure of a compost, okay, which is slightly darker in color. So let's see what is the humus cycle. So humus has many nutrients. Why does it rich in nutrient? We always said that because it is made from purely from the organic material, no? Plant bodies, plant material, foliage, agricultural waste, even kitchen waste, even the animal excreta, animal bodies, they are going to form the humus, right? Along with the compost. So hence it is rich in the nutrient, right? So health of the soil is going to improve definitely. Even nitrogen present in the compost or humus is also very important and richest source of the nutrient. So in that humus, what is the percentage of the nitrogen? No doubt, humus is containing number of other elements such as the potassium is there, carbon is there, nitrogen is there, right? Phosphorus is also there. Along with that, many other nutrients are present in it. पण सगळ्यात जास्त कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन जर कशाचं असेल तर ते आहे कार्बन आणि सेकंड आहे नायट्रोजन. येस, आता कार्बन आणि नायट्रोजन आपण म्हटलं की मोस्ट ऑफ इट इज प्रेझेंट इन द ह्युमिस. देन व्हॉट इज द प्रपोर्शन ऑफ दॅट? इट इज प्रेझेंट इन 10:1 रेशो, राईट? 10 part of the carbon as to 1 part of a nitrogen. असं proportion मध्ये ते असतं 10:1. Then microorganism decomposed a large portion of the soil organic matter into inorganic minerals. Yes, of course, we have studied this point yesterday. Number of microorganisms are there, right? All together, they used to either secrete some kind of enzymes, digestive enzymes, which digest the organic matter, and then it is get absorbed by that microorganism for their energy production. But most of the organic matter is digested by them, releasing nutrient free. Okay, releasing nutrient free. So that complex organic material is get converted into simple organic form. Okay, so it get converted into simple form so that it can be available for the plants for their growth, right? But how portion at this point we have already studied yesterday, right? So when the process of decomposition takes place, right, during which if the decomposition is completed, okay, it is completed, then during the decomposition, if the minerals are going to be free, so that is called as a mineralization. And in this process, again, during the mineralization, nitrogen is also get free. This nitrogen is one of the mineral, no. So it also get free, even other nutrients, they also get free. So this process of setting the minerals free in the environment or free in the soil, that is called as a mineralization. Right? Mineralization क्या है? Mineralization is a process which set the nutrient free from the organic material. जो ऑर्गेनिक मटेरियल से कन्वर्जन होता है इनऑर्गेनिक, जे डिकम्पोजिशन झाल्यानंतर मिनरल्स फ्री होतात आणि दॅट फॉर्म्स द inorganic minerals. So that is called as a mineralization. And when the nitrogen is set free, that nitrogen is utilized by plant. From the plant it goes to the organic food material, from where it enters into human body or animal body, and again it returns to soil. So this is the nitrogen cyclic movement of the nitrogen takes place, called as a nitrogen cycle. Similarly, the nutrient cycle is also there. Okay, so recycling of the nutrient takes place because of this humus cycle as well as a decomposition process. Let's see the carbon cycle. See, carbon, why are we considering carbon cycle here? Because the carbon is one of the important component of the humus as well as a decomposed, or you can say compost, right? So carbon, which is present in the humus, is in the proportion, highest proportion of all, right? So that's why we have taken here carbon cycle as an example for the explanation. Okay, so as I said yesterday also, those plants means primary producers. Plant ला काय म्हटलं आपण प्रायमरी प्रोड्युसर. का प्रायमरी प्रोड्युसर? कारण ते फूड तयार करायचं काम करतात म्हणून ते आले प्रायमरी प्रोड्युसर्स, राईट? So these plants in presence of sunlight as well as air and soil, and not only that, water is also important, right? In presence of sunlight, air, soil, water, they used to synthesize the food material, that is process of a photosynthesis, right? So during this process of photosynthesis, the inorganic form of the energy is get converted, or it is back in the form of organic material, and then those organic material on which the producer primary consumers they used to feed, like other animals, human असेल, बाकीचे herbivores असतील किंवा मग कॅटल्स असतील, ते काय करतात, प्रोड्युसर्स कडे एनर्जी अक्वायर करतात, राईट? And when those animals, okay, they become dead, or even their excretory material is dropped down on the soil, right? So by any means, even plant foliage is also there, plant bodies also sometimes they become dead. मग हे सगळं डेड मटेरियल, ॲनिमल वेस्ट, प्लांट वेस्ट कुठे जाणार आहे? बिकॉज इट कंटेन्स एनर्जी. इट इज in the form of organic material. So, in presence of again sunlight, moisture, proper temperature, right? The microorganism, that is aerobic organism, they act on it, and partly anaerobic organisms are also there. They used to act on such organic matter, right? And then they used to carry out aerobic as well as anaerobic decomposition of that material, organic material, so that the minerals can be set free. So once the minerals they are free, once the nutrient they are free in the soil, they will be utilized back again by the plant, and again in presence of the same, again sunlight, water, so moisture or water, air, soil, the inorganic form of a nutrient is get converted into organic. So the cycle is going to be continuing. Every time it is going to be continuing. So energy is always get transferred from one stage to another stage to another stage. Okay, again return to the soil. Again from the soil it is going to move in a cyclic manner. Right? So this is in this way the carbon, or you can say energy, that flows in the ecosystem. This is just an example. It doesn't mean that carbon only moves in this way. No, all other elements, they are just changing their forms, but they are moving in a ecosystem in a cyclic way. That is called as a nutrient cycling or recycling of the nutrient when they return back to the soil. Okay. Now the process of humidification. Next is what? Humidification. Now what is a humidification? Humidification is what? It's nothing but the process by which the humus formation takes place. Okay, the process by which or through which the formation of a humus takes place is called as a humidification. Now, humidification can occur naturally in the soil, yes, or artificially it can be produced, or it can be takes place, right? So, production during the production of a compost means whatever vermicompost technology which we are running, right, for getting the compost or for getting the vermicompost. So that is what, that is an artificially prepared compost or artificially provided house for the worms to carry out the vermicomposting. right? But naturally also it has been takes place in the environment. So humidification, that is humus formation, can either takes place through the natural way in the soil or artificially during the production of the compost. It can take place, right? So organic matter is humidified. Yes, organic matter. जे पण organic matter असेल that is further humidified. Who is going to humidified? कोण असेल की जे ते organic matter चे conversion करणार आहे humus मध्ये किंवा compost मध्ये? Yes, somebody must be there, right? Yes, saprophytic organism, saprophytic fungi काही बुरशी असतात जे की त्याचं कन्वर्शन करतात. Even some bacteria are there. Those includes aerobic as well as anaerobic bacteria. Even nematodes are there, protozoa are there, and some arthropods. म्हणजे काही insects वगैरे असतील किंवा मग बाकी जे animals असतील arthropods मध्ये perhaps वगैरे. They are also feeding on the organic matter, right? So ultimately they helps in decomposition process as well as a humidification process. So depending on the condition, see in which condition the decomposition is occur. Okay, so depending on the condition in which the decomposition has been occurred, a fraction of the organic matter does not mineralize. As I said earlier, suppose a pit of 1 to 2 meter deep we have constructed for the vermicomposting or for the dumping the organic waste. So superficial part, जो पण वरवरचा aerated असेल तो part मध्ये decomposition आरामात होणार आहे because air is going to pass in that, air is circulating आणि म्हणून जे aerobic organism असतील ते त्याचं composting करत राहणार. But what happened for the part which is not being turned out, राइट? म्हणजे की खालचा 1 मीटरचा जो तुमचा पार्ट असेल पीठ मधला तर तो कसा वरती येणार जर तुम्ही त्याला वरती केलंच नाही तर तिथे हवा नाही पोहोचणार. सो अल्टिमेटली एरोबिक बॅक्टेरिया कॅन नॉट वर्क देयर. सो इन दॅट पोर्शन who will be carry out the composting? Yes, anaerobic organism and anaerobic bacteria are there who carry out the humidification in that portion, right? So depending on the condition in which decomposition occurs, a fraction of, right, a fraction of organic matter that does not mineralize and instead it transformed by a process called as a humidification into the organic polymer, right? So uppermost part which is aerated well, right, where the aerobic organisms are there, they carry out their decomposition, so compost will form. Okay, compost will form. But into the deeper layer, right, what we are saying, this one is suppose aerated portion where the compost is formed by the aerobic organism, and below which there is what anaerobic portion where the humidification takes place. Okay, in the bottom line, humidification takes place. And who will carry out that humidification? Anaerobic organism, right? So, depending on which condition the decomposition has occurred, the fraction of the organic matter is being get converted into compost, that mineralization takes place, and fraction of the organic matter is not being mineralized. So further it is being converted into the humus or the organic polymer by the process of humidification. Right? Okay. Apart from that, because these polymers, okay, the polymers, that is the compost, or you can say the humus, which is formed by the process of humidification, is what is nothing but an organic polymer. And that organic polymers are resistant to the action of a microorganism. Right? They are what? Resistant to the action of a microorganism. So they are stable and constitute humus, right? So as that polymer formed by the organic polymer which is formed by the process of humidification. आता जर म्हटलं आपण ते काय रेजिस्टंट आहे, कोणाला रेजिस्टंट आहे? ऑर्गॅनिझम, मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझमला जर ते रेजिस्टंट असेल तर मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम ते ह्युमसचं कंपोस्ट मध्ये कन्व्हर्जन करणार आहे का? नाही करू शकत, बरोबर आहे? म्हणून ते ह्युमसला काय म्हटलं आपण? स्टेबल ह्युमस, right? So that forms a stable, or you can say that forms a humus, which part of the organic matter, organic polymer is not being digested or not being degraded by the aerobic organism, so that forms the humus. आता humus, त्याला stable humus का म्हणतात किंवा मग stable म्हणजे काय? So we often said the person just correlate with us. Okay, we often said that a person who was ill, suppose, admitted in the hospital. Now he is stable, quite stable. म्हणजे काय की स्थिर. So that again we can say the land or the, and suppose there was a storm. Okay, so once the storm is passed away, so we said now the environment is stable. So similarly, there is means what stable means what there is a no more change or there is a no fluctuation has been observed. So that is said to be the stable. So in the same way, this wording is used. Stable humus means what? The humus, once it is formed, it is not being converted into another one, another product that is composed, it will remain in the form of a humus. Okay, it will remain in the form of a humus. It is not going to form another byproduct. Okay, so it is stable, right? So this stability implies that humus integrates into a permanent structure of the soil, thereby improving the quality of the soil. Right? As if the humus is what stable, it is not going to get converted into another component. आता जर ते कन्वर्ट नाही होणार आहे ते स्टेपमध्ये ज्या फॉर्ममध्ये आहे त्याच फॉर्ममध्ये राहणार आहे. याचा अर्थ काय की ते सॉइलमध्ये जर असेल ह्युमस वन्स इट इज फॉर्म इन द सॉइल इट विल रिमेन ॲज इट इज इन द सॉइल राईट. It helps to improve the soil quality because it is purely the organic matter, right? So it helps to increase the soil quality as well as the soil quantity. Okay, so apart from the humus cycle, let's see the composition of the humus. Why humus is considered to be such a nutrient rich? Why humus is supposed to be increasing the soil quality? Okay, let's see what are the components. Basic, or you can say the major component of humus, right? So humus consists of different components, different humic substances, which are the fulvic acid, humic acid, and humin. These are three very basic, or you can say three main components of the humus. Okay, so fulvic acid. What is the fulvic acid? Whether it is useful or not, let's see. So fraction of the humus that is soluble. See this. This is very important. Fraction of the humus. Humusचा काही part हा soluble पाण्यामध्ये at any pH, means at acidic pH, at alkaline pH, as well as at the stable, or you can say neutral pH. This at any pH, a part of the humus is soluble in water. Right? So that is said to be fulvic acid, and this fulvic acid is what? Light yellow to yellow brown in color. So yellowish color, yellowish brown colored component of the humus is said to be the fulvic acid. So it doesn't mean humus is comprising only of the black colored component. No, some part of it is light or yellow or yellowish brown in color. Right? So that is a fulvic acid which is soluble in water at all the pH conditions. Right? So another component is a humic acid. Now that humic acid, the fraction of the humus, this is some part of the humus. Humusचा काही part. ह्युमस आपल्याकडे भरपूर सारे त्याच्यामध्ये वेगवेगळे कंपोनेंट्स आहेत बरोबर आहे. जसे की आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये खूप सारे वेगवेगळे ऑर्गन्स असतात, बट ऑल टुगेदर आपण काय म्हणतो दिस इज अ ह्युमन बॉडी बरोबर आहे. ह्युमन बॉडीमध्ये एक डोकं असतं, डोळे असतात, नाक असतात, दोन हात असतात आपल्याला, 10 fingers we have on our hands like that. Different organs are there inside our body. पण आपण असं म्हणत नाही की बाबा हा this is whatever is coming is having one hand, one head, 2 hands, 10 fingers. नहीं, अपन क्या बोलते हो? This is what a human. Okay. So similarly, in case of a humus, okay, in case of a humus, different components are there, right? Different components are there, but all together it forms a humus. And these different components we are studying one by one. Humic acid is again another component of the humus. ओके, आता काही पार्ट ह्युमसचा काही पार्ट जो की सोल्युबल आहे वॉटरमध्ये, दॅट इज सोल्युबल एक्सेप्ट फॉर द कंडिशन्स मोर ॲसिडिक दॅन pH2. Okay, that is called as a humic acid. So humic acid requires what? A very acidic pH. What it requires? It requires a very acidic pH. मग कुठला? Near about 2 किंवा मग 2 च्या खाली pH असेल, highly acidic pH. त्यालाच फक्त ते soluble आहे वॉटरमध्ये. That is said to be the humic acid, and the humic acid is dark brown to brown in color, right? It is what? Dark brown to brown in color. Now, humin, here is again one trick is remaining. I'll explain it later on. Humin is what? Another component. Okay, it is not soluble in the water at any pH Okay, at any pH content, whether acidic, whether alkaline, whether neutral, right? So at any pH condition, the part of the humus is not being soluble; it remains in the insoluble form, and it cannot be extracted with the strong base. Okay, then what? It remains as it is. It remains in the form of a stable humus, right? Stable humus, which we said earlier. So that is black in color. The humine is black in color, humic acid is dark brown to black in color, and fulvic acid is yellow, light yellow to yellow brown in color. Now, the question may arises that as we said, the humus is darker in color. Okay, darker brown to black in color. Then what about this fulvic acid? From where it has come? Is it a part of the humus or not? This is again a question, right? Yes, it is a part of a humus, but see, this is soluble in the water at all the pH. Means what? Once the humus is formed, if a part means it is dipped in the water or it comes in contact with water, it get readily solubilized. Right? It get readily solubilized. Hence, this fulvic acid, that is a yellowish part of the humus, is not being observed. Okay, it is very rarely observed. Then what humus is nothing but a brownish black colored material. आता ब्राउन कलर्ड पार्ट जो आहे तो पण बऱ्यापैकी दिसतो आपल्याला का दिसतो कारण दॅट इज सोल्युबल इन द वॉटर अँड ओनली ॲट द हायली ॲसिडिक pH. Okay, only at highly acidic pH that is near about 2 or below 2. Then another one humin, that is a blackish in color, which is not soluble in the water at any pH. Right? So that's why the humus, though it bears the component of the different colors, but it remains in the blackish brown color because of its stability, because of its nature, which is not dissolved in any pH. Right? Now, after studying the different components of the humus, let's see what are the benefits of the humus, right? So, the process that converts a soil organic matter into humus. Okay, so it's a complex process in which the soil organic matter is get converted into humus. So, during this process, who is going to convert it? Microorganisms, nematodes, earthworms. They are going to convert that organic matter into humus. So this feeds the population of microorganisms. During the humidification, large amount of microorganisms they used to feed on it, and all the creatures present in the soil as well as maintaining the high and healthy level of the soil life. Right. So during humidification, varieties of different organisms they used to feed on the humus and convert it. It means they used to feed on the organic matter and convert it into humus. So that ultimately, once the dead organic matter get converted into humus, that helps to maintain the soil quality, that helps to maintain the health, means healthy life of the organism present in the soil, as well as the soil productivity, it also get improved. Right. So later there is another benefit, that is effective humus and stable humus. Right? Effective humus and stable humus are the additional sources of nutrients. Now here what is the effective humus and what is the stable humus? Again question arises. Stable humus, which we have studied earlier, that is the humus cannot be further get converted, rather it remain in the same form as it is in the soil. Right? So that a stable humus is there. Then what is the effective humus? Effective humus is a part or is a type of humus which is readily available for the plant. Okay, that readily provides a nourishment to the plant, just like this one. Fulvic acid. A part of the humus is said to be fulvic acid, which is soluble in the pH at any possible pH, is soluble in the water at any possible pH. Right? So it can be considered as a effective humus. Whereas the humic acid and humin, which is not getting readily solubilized in the water, so it is treated as a stable humus. Right? Okay. So decomposition of the dead plant material causes a complex organic compound to be slowly oxidized. Right? Decomposition of a dead plant material. When the plants they become dead, they get buried into the soil. Right? Their decomposition takes place. Okay. But those parts which are like lignin, okay, they get decomposed with the slowly. Why? Because they are the complex polymer and that forms the basic structural framework of the plant. Barabar. So, structural framework of the plant is formed by the living material and that is not get readily solubilized in the environment. So that requires a slow oxidation process, okay, which are further transformed into the microbial humus. So those plant material which are not readily solubilized, readily decomposed, okay, so that remain as it is for long and then further anaerobic microorganisms they carry out its transformation into humus. So whenever the dead plant or animal bodies are part of which is digested by the organic aerobic organism forms the compost, and part of which is not been digested by the aerobic organism, where anaerobic organism plays the role and it's going to form the humic acid or it's going to form the humus. Okay. So humus is what? A colloidal substance that stores the nutrients by chelation. Right? So humus is again a colloidal substance. Means what? The humus कसं होतं तयार की no doubt it is a digested part of the organic matter. बरोबर? मग आता तो digested part असेल तर तो काय असणार आहे? बऱ्यापैकी तो converted into a simplified form. Again त्याच्यामध्ये काही बाकीचे न्यूट्रिएंट्स पण अटॅच होतात मायक्रोब्स जे असतात मायक्रोबच्या बॉडीवरचे सिक्रेशन्स वगैरे त्याच्यामध्ये bonding तयार होतं right like that. So it stores the nutrient by chelation. Even humus can hold the equivalent of 80 to 90% moisture. So humus has a capacity when it is if a dry bed of humus, or you can say when the humus was studied for its water content or moisture content, near about 80 to 90% of the moisture is present in the humus. सो जर आता इतक्या चांगल्या प्रमाणामध्ये त्याच्यामध्ये मॉइश्चर असेल आणि असं ह्युमस जर आपण सॉइलमध्ये यूज केलं that will definitely improve the soil quality, right? Along with that, it also helps for withstanding drought. जेव्हा पाणी कमी असेल किंवा मग कोरडं वातावरण असेल त्यावेळेस काय होणार आहे की हे ह्युमस सॉइलला जास्त ड्राय होऊ देणार नाही, राईट? इट विल हेल्प टू मेंटेन द मॉइश्चर, इट प्रिव्हेंट द ड्रॉट कंडिशन, राईट? Okay. So biochemical structure of the humus enable it to moderate the soil because humus contains varieties of nutrients, right? Varieties of nutrients. Even it is some of them are readily available, some of them are not readily available. Even some of them remain as it is in the form of a stable components, right? Mata अशा वेळेस काय होणार आहे की जेव्हा ह्युमस आपण सॉइलमध्ये ॲड केलं इन एनी ॲग्रिकल्चरल फील्ड सपोज वी ॲड द ह्युमस व्हॉट विल हॅपन दॅट ह्युमस विल ॲक्ट ॲज अ मॉडरेट जे काय ते बफरिंगचं काम करणार आहे जर समजा बाय चान्स सॉइलची क्वालिटी एकदम डेटेरिओरेट झालेली आहे राईट अँड टू दॅट सॉइल इफ यू ॲड द ह्युमस सो द क्वालिटी ऑफ दॅट सॉइल विल गोइंग टू इम्प्रूव्ह बिकॉज ह्युमस इज गोइंग टू डू दॅट right? So it acts as a moderate or a buffer which cannot change the pH of the soil towards the acidic or towards the alkaline. It helps to maintain the soil health, right? So that is the humus does. So during humidification, microbes secrete because microbes what they does they used to carry out humidification. So during this process, the microbes what they does they used to secrete some sticky substance or gum like mucilaginous substance which adheres the particles together, allowing a greater aeration. जर समजा आपण सॉइलमध्ये थोडंसं पाणी टाकलं खूप जास्त पावडरी फॉर्मची सॉइल आहे त्याच्यात हवा पास होईल का नाही ते क्लब शेप होईल का नाही होणार तिचे गोळे तयार होतील नाही होणार मग काय होणार आहे सपोज वी जस्ट स्प्रिंकल लिटिल बिट ऑफ वॉटर आणि जस्ट टू मिक्स इट प्रॉपरली काय होणार आहे मातीचे गोळे तयार अल्टिमेटली हवा पास व्हायला तिथे चान्स राहणार आहे एरिएशन वाढेल सॉइलमध्ये and that will help the soil quality, soil to improve the soil quality, right? So in the process of the humidification, whatever microbes are there, what they does, they used to carry out, they used to secrete some kind of a sticky substance that is called as mucilaginous substances. Then these mucilaginous substances, they used to, as they are sticky in nature, okay, they used to adhere particles together, soil particles together, allowing a greater aeration, हवा पास व्हायला चान्स होऊन जातो पॅसेज म्हणतो हवेसाठी, as well as toxic substances such as heavy metals. ओके जर आपण केमिकल फर्टिलायझर्स वगैरे यूज करत असू तर त्याच्यामध्ये हेवी मेटल्स ॲड होण्याचा चान्स असतो जमिनीमध्ये So these toxic substances such as heavy metals as well as excess nutrients, because तुम्ही कंपोस्ट ऍड केलं, तुम्ही ह्युमिफिकेशन ह्युमस पण टाकलेलं आहे, सो एक्सेसिव्ह न्यूट्रिएंट्स आर ऑल्सो गिव्हिंग देअर, राईट. किंवा मग ह्या ह्युमिफिकेशनच्या प्रोसेसमध्ये जे पण एक्सेसिव्ह न्यूट्रिएंट असतात ते आणि टॉक्सिक मटेरियल they get bind together because of the process, okay, because of the process of the chilation. So that ultimately gives us a stable, or you can say healthy environment for growing our crops, right? So humus is, dear students, playing a very important role. Okay, so we have seen lot many benefits of the organic matter as well as humus. Okay, let's revise them. So the microorganisms, during the process of humidification, varieties of microorganisms, they used to feed on the organic matter, so ultimately convert them into humus or convert the organic matter into humus, so that helps to maintain the soil quality. Even effective humus is there which provides nutrient readily. Stable humus is there which act as a buffer, or you can say which improves the soil quality as well as the quantity. Even the some kind of materials like lignin, which are not getting readily digested or decomposed, so they forms the humus further. As well as the humus has a capacity to store the nutrient by the process of chilation. It gives a moisture to the soil as well as help to withstand the drought condition. Even the humus act as a moderate for the soil to avoid changing pH, stabilize the soil. Even it also helps to improve the aeration in the soil. So these are the basic benefits of the humus, right? And dear students will study this humus cycle in brief once again. Okay. So what happened exactly during the humidification? We have studied not many points, right? Here in this picture, we're going to summarize all together. So animal as well as a plant product, animal as well as a plant byproduct. What happened with them? In presence of a solar energy, that is in presence of a sunlight as well as in presence of water, right? So that animal and plant product, byproduct as well as their dead bodies, they get converted into the compost by the microorganism as well as anaerobic microorganisms are also there. So aerobic as well as anaerobic organisms, they carry out their decomposition, right? Some fungi are there, some bacteria are there, earthworms are there, snails, sludge, right? Many organisms, even insects are also there which carry out the decomposition, right? And then what happened? So part of the organic matter is get digested or it get decomposed by the aerobic organism, whereas part of that organic matter is not being digested by the aerobic organism, that is further get converted into humus by anaerobic organisms, right? Anaerobic microorganisms. So here is the role of both aerobic as well as anaerobic organisms comes, which converts that animal and plant dead bodies into the compost as well as a humus. Right. So during this decomposition of the organic matter, what happened? Part of which is forms a stable humus that improves the quality of the soil, whereas the part of which is readily providing nourishment to the soil. So ultimately, soil is become enriched with the nutrients, minerals which were trapped in the form of organic matter, now set free as an inorganic minerals, which can be readily utilized by the plants for their growth. Okay, so from the microorganism helps to set free the nutrient in the soil, which are again utilized by the plant community, right? And whatever lignin was coming from the dead plant bodies is now returned to the plants, so that lignin is again restored while growing the plants. बरोबर, झाडं जेव्हा वाढत असेल तेव्हा त्याचा स्ट्रक्चरल कंपोनेंट पण वाढणार आहे. Ultimately, like the lignin is again back to the plant. Lignin is again restored in the plants, and the plant community again in presence of sunlight, air, as well as that is oxygen, as well as water, soil containing minerals, helps to synthesize the food material. That is a process of photosynthesis, during which The inorganic nutrients are packed in the form of organic substances, and those organic substances are then again goes to the animals, and from where it goes to the soil. So that organic substances from animal bodies or plant bodies get converted into inorganic by the microorganism as well as a invertebrate organism. Okay, so this cycle is going to continue. The nutrients they keep on revolving in the environment through organic to inorganic, again to organic to inorganic by the mediators of the plant, animals, and microbes. Plant, animals, and microbes are decomposers. Right? So, dear students, we have studied humus cycle as well as a humidification process, as well as we also studied the different components of the humus. Along with that, some benefits of the humus in present lecture. Hope you understand everything. Okay, and take care as well as keep studying. Thank you.